I've been super reluctant to do this video. I hope it works. I have had some factors going against me lately, and I'm trying to hold on to the fact that I really am a true believer that everything happens for the good. Everything happens for a reason. If it feels negative, it's usually because there's a lesson that needs to be learned. But all in all, everything happens for the good, and everything comes from the creator. Everything happens for the good. I just keep repeating it because I'm trying to get it myself. But if you're watching this video, it is on Casey Michelle 2.0. It is 2.0 because it is my second YouTube channel. I recently lost my first YouTube channel. I had been working on it for about a year, and it just recently had kind of started to gain a little bit of traction. And I think it's because a lot of things, but I started this series about me going all in on content creation. So I'm going to try to sum up the last 5 videos that I did over on the other page on here. But really quickly, just because I want to bitch, I lost that freaking channel because I got a new phone. That was a whole story too, the day at the phone store. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll know all about that too. Casey Michelle on TikTok, Casey Michelle across all socials. But I got a new phone, and in the transfer of the phones, because I traded in my old phone and transferred all my stuff over, I lost some things in the transfer. Nothing too crazy, but I also had to re-log into all of my accounts. Sorry, you got wiggly for a second. I had to re-log in all of my apps and all of my accounts. Well, this one specific email that I had was super old email, and it was connected to my YouTube and my Google Photos, because Google Photos just backs up to your email account. And so that specific account I tried to log back into, and I didn't have the password. I just put too much milk in this coffee. Like when the color's not right. I tried to log in, didn't have a password, and I had nothing. I had like no 2-factor identification. So it wasn't connected to a phone number or nothing else. And then I said, forgot password, like, da, da, da. And then it like clicks up the screen and it was like, we can't verify that this is you. We can't give you your credentials. Like, sorry. Basically, that's all it fucking said. Like, just can't do it. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. And I'm kind of like, oh, no big deal. Like, I have it on my computer. Like, I have that email account still on the computer. And I didn't really, whatever. I'm going too far in this story. For some fucking reason, it is off the computer too. Like, completely gone. I don't understand what happened. And to be honest with you, it's not even about the YouTube. It's about the pictures. Years and years and years of pictures. So if you have any advice on how to get those back, I just had a baby who was in the NICU for 6 months, who was truly a miracle fucking baby. All of his pictures, videos are in there. If you know how to get them back, let me know. So that's that story. We're going to take a walk with me. This is the other thing about my videos. They are super raw, super unedited. Half the time my fucking head's chopped off because I have the video in landscape and, wait a minute. I have the video in landscape because you have to have a landscape for YouTube, and I cut my own head off. Anyways, it's going to be too hot. All right, we're going to try it right there. Look, if you don't see the top of my head, I'm really sorry. It's more about the message. I will be 40 in a couple weeks. And like I said, I'm summing up my old videos. So being a quote unquote influencer has always really intrigued me. And I posted on social media for a long time. I don't think I've ever really had a fear of being seen on social media. I think my fear is really to not be seen, to be honest. But I've never really taken social media seriously. I've a couple times gotten into it and then, faded off, like whatever. So, about a year and a half ago, I had a video on TikTok go viral. Of course, it had to do with the baby being in the NICU in the hospital and that whole story, which is a story for another day because it is a story. And I had a video go viral. And at that point, I had some more time on my hands. Hopefully, you can hear me over the water. I had some more time on my hands because of him being in the NICU and I wasn't really working and I was spending a lot of days up in the hospital. So I was like, we're going to take social media seriously. And then he came home and I was a stay at home mom. So for about a year, I took social media seriously and I was posting just like trending audio videos, stuff about the baby, fashion. I became a TikTok shop affiliate like so many people did. And I was posting a lot of fashion and like shop videos, fun stuff. I went from 800 to 28,000 followers in about 8 to 10 months. Really, it really kicked off in like a 3-month span. But anyways, and then I got a download from the universe. You'll hear me say things like this. I'm extremely spiritual. A download from the universe. I heard God speak. Divinity came to me. My intuition, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I got a download from the universe to write a book. I always wanted to write a book, but I never really thought too much about it. I just remember being a little girl and saying, I'm going to write a book and I'm going to make my first million by age 25. Well, neither one of those things came to fruition, but we're on a journey now. We're on the path now. And I got a download from the universe to write a book, and it would be about lessons. Every day would have a lesson, is kind of what the universe told me. And like I said, I'm very spiritual and I'm very intuitive. And I know when my intuition speaks, I have to listen. So I wrote a book. And so the past 6 months, I've been writing this book. I actually wrote 2 books. We'll get into that later. But I was writing a book and I kind of put social media on the back burner. Actually, I would post like once a day or once every couple days. And it was like things about the book. It was lessons about the books. The book is a 52-week workbook all about choosing you, finding who you are, manifesting your life, whatever. We'll get into that, like I said. So that content wasn't resonating with my audience as much as the other content because it wasn't about a cute little baby or like a silly little video, which is fine and no problem. I was so focused on this book. Look, side note, I got a chemical peel the other day and my face is peeling like a snake, which is what you want, but can't decide if I'm going to put makeup on today. Anyway, yeah, so my views, essentially, that was in March 2025. It is now September 2025. I'm still at 28,000 followers, 28.1. So didn't resonate as much. That's perfectly fine. Not whatever. I know for an absolute fact that that's what I was supposed to be doing at that time. And that book is going to help so many people and in turn make me a lot of money. So now I am back on my influencer bullshit. I want to be an influencer, whatever that looks like. I don't really know what that looks like because I can't do things that don't feel good in my body. Just like I said, when I got the download to write the book, even though it didn't resonate with everybody else, all of my followers or anything like that, that's what I had to do. So I can't do things that don't feel good in my body no matter what it looks like. But I am currently all in on creating content and posting on social media numerous times a day. So follow me on all the socials. Like I said, Casey Michelle, Instagram. Instagram is, I think it's, feel like it's really hard to grow on Instagram. Whatever, it's fun still. But Instagram is Casey underscore Michelle underscore KCCASIE. Listen to my shameless plugs. TikTok is just Casey Michelle. And then Casey Michelle 2.0 here on YouTube. Subscribe if this resonates with you. This raw, unedited diaries of a single 40-year-old mom becoming an influencer. Cheers. Yeah, so we're back on our posting full time over on the social media. And like I said, I had created 5 of these videos going in depth on different topics. I am very big into manifestation and spirituality. I don't believe this is true. It is true that all manifestation, neuroscience, and spirituality are based on 3 core pillars. Let me make sure you're still recording. I pray to God you can still help me or hear me, because that's what's been happening is the audio clicks out. But I charged the microphone. So anyways, all of those 3 things are based on 3 pillars: nervous system regulation, self-awareness, and rewiring the brain with repetition. In the book that I wrote, it is 52 weeks of lessons. Each lesson somehow fits into one of those 3 categories. Everything you hear in the spiritual community, everything you hear based around manifestation, everything you hear in neuroscience is based around one of those 3 pillars. When you learn to master those 3 pillars, your life will change, period. You are manifesting and co-creating your life all day, every day, whether you want to or not, whether you realize it or not. So my advice to you, learn to manipulate the system. It is a fucking game. We live in a matrix. Learn how to do those 3 things, and you will learn how to create the life that you truly fucking want and that you truly deserve. In all of that, you have to be selfish as fuck. And if you want to take that out of context, I don't give a shit. You have to do what is best and what is right for you. Every single day, every moment of the day, do what is your highest self would do. Do the thing that feels best in your body, truly feels best in your body. That may take some work, because that is not me saying, if you're a mom, go out every night and go partying because that's what you want to do. That is not what is truly best for you and your higher self and your manifestations. And I'm not going to sit here and explain that shit to you. If what you're doing is not what is truly in alignment for you, that is your journey and you to figure out. But you will hear me say time and time again, you need to learn to be selfish as fuck. I'm selfish as fuck. Every single person on this universe needs to be selfish as fuck, because what is good for you is good for the collective. We are in a new paradigm shift is coming. The world is becoming much more conscious, and we are waking up to the bullshit, and we are waking up to the matrix. This is all a game. And when you, like I said, when you learn the rules of the game and you become good at the rules of the game, guaranteed shit will change. So I talk a lot about those 3 pillars, and it has changed my life. I have been studying spirituality, manifestation, subconscious mind, rewiring the brain. I've been studying this for years. And last year when the baby came home from the hospital, he so Brix has lung disease. He was 1 pound when he was born. He came home on oxygen, and my life turned completely upside down. Was in a relationship with Brix's dad. My three boys, my big three boys, are from my first marriage. And then after that marriage, I got into a relationship. We had Brix. We completely fell apart during Brix's hospital stay. Probably honestly started before that, but anyways, I found myself as a single mom of four, losing my mind. I was at my lowest point. Like, it was bad. And I realized I had been learning, gosh, my face is peeling so bad. I had been learning all of these things about manifestation, uh, neuroscience, the brain, the nervous system, whatever. I've been learning all of these things for years, but I wasn't applying them. I thought I was applying them, but when you hit rock bottom, whatever that looks like for you, you realize no one's coming to fucking save you. I had to save myself. My entire life, I looked for outside validation. My entire life, I was a people pleaser. My entire life, I would have categorized myself as an empath. The problem with being an empath is you absorb everybody else's emotions instead of observing them. Now, once you learn to be compassionate and not absorb their emotions, but to observe them, compassion and empathy are two very different things. Once you learn that, that's a big game changer as well. But I had to stop seeking outside validation and seeking happiness outside of myself. Guys, this room is dirty. Please don't judge me. I don't care. Judge me if you want. What time is it? I need to check the time. Yeah, so I had to pick myself out of that hole. That was a year ago. I don't recognize that person. I do recognize that person, but that person is not me anymore. Like, my life has changed so much. My inner state of being has changed so much. Writing the book, really implementing the lessons in the book, and doing my own inner work and becoming selfish as fuck has changed my fucking life. I can't even put into words. So, and here's the other thing I want to say. You never master it. It's always a journey. You're always going to learn more. You're always going to have another trigger you need to work on. You're always going to have something, right? And that is the beauty of it, because once you truly learn the steps to do the three things, it's like the back of your hand. You can see things coming, you can see things happening, and you can be the observer of your mind. You can be the observer of your reality and say, I don't like how this thing is panning out. I'm going to change it, because you manifest your fucking life. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is simple. I can't multitask. Can you see? I start doing something and then I start talking and I get so wrapped up in my words I don't know what I'm doing. I want to find. Okay, you're gonna stay there, but I'm gonna keep talking because I'm gonna go find these jeans that I want. Learn those three things your life will change. Another big thing that changed in my life during all of this is I started studying Kabbalah. Kabbalah is a spiritual teaching. It is not a religion. So there are actually tons of people who are religious and all kinds of different religions who study Kabbalah, and it just helps you go deeper into the learning of whatever religion you are. I am not a religion. I am not a religious person. I just study Kabbalah, and that is my spiritual. That's where my spiritual teachings come from. Yeah, so I've been studying Kabbalah, but I study with David Guillaume. You can find him on all social medias. He's so good. He's actually the co-founder of Mary Ruth Organics. If you haven't heard of Mary Ruth Organics, you've been living under a rock because they're the #1 supplement company probably in the world by now. Him and his wife, Mary Ruth, run the company, and he's been teaching Kabbalah for like 20 or 30 years, something like that. So good. So good. Kabbalah has also changed my life. Kabbalah is where the teaching from how I started this video is talking about how everything is good because everything is from the creator. That comes from Kabbalah because so the creator, God could be the creator, universe, source, divinity, your higher self, whoever. Like you can even be atheist and study Kabbalah and you can be the creator. Like the creator is just a bigger form of energy, whatever you want to name it. So you'll hear me say either creator, God, universe, source. Those are kind of the words that I use to describe it. But I feel like I'm backtracking. Like I said, I had made 5 videos in this series, and they each touched on these topics. So I'm just trying to get you up to speed. Okay, I'm going to grab some scissors and cut this shirt. Like I said, I do enjoy fashion. I don't know if the speaker has gone too far, so I'm going to stop talking and we'll come back to you. Like I said, I do enjoy fashion. I actually went to fashion school as a merchandiser, not in fashion design. But we're going to cut this shirt because I love an off-the-shoulder, oversized t-shirt. I actually just the other day bleached this t-shirt. It was just black, and I threw it in a mixture of bleach, vinegar, and water, and that created the design that's on it. Okay, we're going to call it a wrap for this video because I am at a standpoint on what I want to say. But if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Please make sure you subscribe. As like I said, this is my new account and I don't have to do anything, but just subscribe and I would appreciate you so much. Follow me on all socials. This will be more of a diary, whereas my other socials are kind of just more fun, obviously short form. This is going to be more long form, raw, unedited, me just rambling on whatever's going on in my life, whatever thoughts come to mind. And I will link the book in the description if you're interested. On the website, there's actually an ebook also. So there's 2 books. And there is a community, a free community that you can join on the website. In the community, I just started it. In the community, there are already numerous teachings, quizzes, courses, little mini courses that you can take, and I will be adding to that because it's just creating is just what I love to do, whether it's creating lessons, creating quizzes, creating shirts, creating content. Like, I believe we were put on this earth to create. And you will be living in your full purpose when you learn to create more than you consume. We have become a society of consumers. Not that there's anything wrong with consuming. I am obviously a big social media girly. I love to scroll. I love podcasts. I love knowledge. I love learning. But you have to create more than you consume if you want to live life to your highest potential, if you want to create abundance, whatever that looks like for you. Like, creation is the key. So, okay, I love you so much. I'm going to stop rambling. Bye.